following is a presentation of TFNN. Live at TFNN, the Power Trading Hour, with your host, David White. Call now, toll free at 1-877-927-6648. Internationally at 727-445-1044. Now, David White.
And welcome all to another excellent edition of the Power Trading Hour with me, your humble, lovable, and squeezably soft host, David White. We're up, 12, 13 points on the S&P cash. I didn't get a chance to look at it. We just had the FOMC minutes coming out and up just a little bit higher since those came out. So I can assume that someone's figuring out that the money that's rained from the skies for the last 5 years is only going to rain even harder in time soon. But I think we're probably pretty much done with the top of this ABC, and we're probably looking at a good chance of at being able to add and or get back in on the short side again. What would be confirmation would be a light volume. So we had 2.2 million shares yesterday at the start of the show. So what do we have today? 1.9 billion shares on the consolidated New York Stock Exchange tape. So what do you think? I think we've got a market out here. It's going to be really good for traders. We'll have to see what happens in the next hour, hour and a half. But I think we're going to have a few geopolitical issues coming on strong, but it is looking very interesting. I got to get that. Interesting. Would you say it's fascinating?
Fascinating.
I guess they would say it's fascinating. So anyway, looking at this market so far, light volume, another bounce. And the question is whether we can hold these highs into the close. We'll be looking at that probably for the rest of the show. Anyway, what else do we have going on? We like to start off each day with a little bit of history. Those who don't know their history are bound to repeat it. On this day, in 1720, the earliest known discussion of security analysts is published in the London Flying Post, as several authors lay out their differing views on how to calculate the values of shares in the South Sea Company. I meant about 5 minutes after that, someone was probably talking about making a chart of it. But of course, if you knew anything about the South Sea Company, a giant bubble. So it is one of those days that it's going to be interesting to think about this. But at that time, they were trying to figure out what it was worth. Now, pretty much securities analysts are in the business of trying to spread disinformation about the company for the most part. Also, in 1998, KTEL International. If you lived in the United States in the last 30 years, you probably saw some of these KTEL International ads as seen on TV. Of course, they always had the record albums that weren't by the actual original artists. There was actually a group called the Original Artists, and they'd sell these horrible records that sounded like the actual true original artist, but they were just the original artists, a band called the Original Artists. Anyway, they were one of the first pump and dump stocks to get into streaming of audio. Kind of funny that we're still into these pump and dumps 15 years later on audio. Anyway, stock opened at closed the first day of its IPO at $6.05. Remember, we used to have eights before decimalization. And it takes off like a screaming solo. Hit $67.75 by May 4th. Within 2 years, however, the stock had been delisted from the NASDAQ and traded around $2 a share. They actually did a reverse split in 2007 at 500 to 1, 5,000 to 1 reverse stock split. And once again, it took everybody to the cleaners, forced out a lot of people, and basically shoved them to the curb. There were about 300 shares left, or 300 owners of the shares left. Those guys now share in a huge royalty since they were the first to actually buy a lot of the rights to stream audio long before any of the laws came along. So they took everybody to cleaners the first time. Years later, they went and took everybody to the cleaners a second time that owned their stock. And well, probably most people don't even know it. But an interesting bunch. But I don't think that their advertisements would ever make people believe that they had the highest moral standards ever. But interesting nonetheless. Anyway, having an interesting day, so we'll be watching the volume here. And, of course, a nice little run after the Fed minutes. And what do we get? What are we going to say? About 7 points that bounce is. But it should be interesting. Anyway, you can give me a call at 877-927-6648. We'd appreciate your call. You can also email me at path@tfnn.com, and you can post a message in the den if you would like to. So, but I think we're probably very close to the top of that C point in the ABC down, and kind of interesting that we saw a lot of this, a lot of thunder, or excuse me, a lot of lightning, no thunder so far, at least on the volume scale. But give me a call, 877-927-6648, and we'll start looking at some charts here a little earlier today, and we'll get into some of these stocks that were in play. Of course, when we look at how Europe closed, kind of interesting, up 0.7 on the FTSE. DAX was 0.2, and Spain, kind of a thing. Probably the most interesting thing in Asia was Japan was off about 2.7% by the close. Of course, we're seeing a lot of pumps again today. Facebook is one of those, and giving us a chance again to get back in some of these stocks that I think are probably going to be ABC downs. Economic Times reporting company has 100 million users in India. Big deal. Now, the question is, how much money do you make from all those users, not how many users you have. If anybody went through the .com phase or remembers it or hasn't read about it, if you didn't go through it, they were trying to convince everybody that if you just had enough people that would look at your website, somehow you magically would make money. Of course, that was a giant scam. And another 100 million users in India is great. The question instantly should be, how much money are you making on those people right after that? Of course, Facebook had just a huge move off this top at 72.59 on March 11th. We've gone down to the first support level. The volume was way too high to make me think that you'd want to buy this. So we'll use our wonderful retracement tools out here. This thing is pretty much at the level that you'd think that it is going to be at if you look at Confluence. And, of course, it actually got right down to the Confluence level, the longer Confluence level, broke through the minor Confluence levels here. But you're basically looking at, $61.50. You saw $61.43 today, and that probably should be at least some minor resistance at that, probably about the 382 on this. But, if you could get one more move back up to 64.02 and the volume came in very light, I think you'd have to take a shot maybe at the ABC down on this to come back and fill that gap at 30, which I think eventually is going to happen. Question is just how soon. When is Facebook's earnings? Insider transactions, earnings date. There we go. So I'll pop that up real quick. April 23rd. So probably not enough time. They could hold up a few of these stocks into that. But, I digress. I hope no. Not again today. Not another deal. Okay. Summary of hedging ES futures and NASDAQ. No. Okay. What else do we have? What do we have? Okay. We're going to look at a few other stocks of interest out here. AA's up, and of course, a lot of people are complaining on the infotainment cable financial statements that it didn't go up high enough. And I looked at it, and their bottom line, not the bottom or the top line, the revenues. I wish people would start saying the top line, bottom line. The revenues did not increase at all. They are saying that the revenues are going to stay same. What they are saying is that they've done some cost cutting, and it's going to look just a little bit better. And of course, a nice little pounce up here, but they're just back up to their April 1st high, hopefully. And I wonder how many people had stocks that had a high as April 1st and are now April Fools. Anyway, kind of try to get into that. On that date, you had 24.5 million shares. Today we got 37 million shares. So, and more volume, but can't hold those highs. We see a great deal of that. ISRG down very sharply today. And they had Q1 revenues of $465 million versus the $536 million estimate, and are getting whacked. They were down. What do we have here? 6%. Is that right? That's going to be more than that. Anyway, this thing gapped above the highs back on the 18th of, that isn't right, the 1st of April here. And what do we have now, 9 days later? It's right back and filled this gap. And, of course, volume fairly decent today, not as big as the move. But, boy, I tell you what, if you want a stock that will take you to heaven and hell repeatedly, certainly looks like Intuitive Surgical. ISRG, APA. And what do we have here? Let's go back and do this. Apache Corporation downgraded today. Not exactly sure what the downgrade was. What was it? Deutsche Bank off 2.5%. One of the weaker stocks out here on a day where we're moving much higher. And we'll keep an eye on this. But you got back into the February 21st high at 3.7 million shares. On April 4th, it had 3 million shares. This thing is pulled back, and you still have high volume down here at $78.40, so we could see something like that. Anything else out here? HSY. Looks like it's interesting. The Hershey Company. Yeah. Come back and take a look at this. Doesn't look good, does it? Down on a high volume, under 100. We'll be back in a minute.
TFNN is excited about our new software charting program, The Art of Timing the Trade Charts. In collaboration with Tom O'Brien and using his best-selling book, The Art of Timing the Trade, Your Ultimate Trading Mastery System, David White has programmed an outstanding piece of software that will complement any trader's methodology. Using this first-of-its-kind program, The Art of Timing the Trade Charts allows you to scan thousands of stocks for Fibonacci formation setups, including Gartley's, ABC's, butterflies, and much more. The Art of Timing the Trade Charts is designed to help you when scouring the markets for stocks just beginning to form the trading patterns that many investors spend days, weeks, or even months searching to find. And right now, we're offering licenses available at only $79 a month. We are so confident that you're going to love this new charting software that will even give you a 30-day unconditional money-back guarantee. Don't miss out on this incredible new piece of software. Get your copy of The Art of Timing the Trade Charts today by visiting TFNN.com.
Wouldn't it be great if you could get a red light, green light indicator that gives you signals on 25 different future contracts? Now you can with Taz Signal Box. This red light, green light market profile system dynamically updates 24 hours a day and provides you with important trend and trade signals on 9 different commodities, 9 different indices, and 8 different currencies. Right now, you can receive a free 2-week trial to Taz Signal Box. For all the details and to find out how the signal box works, visit the front page of TFNN.com.
Andy Heck's powerful weekly newsletter, the Technomental Commodity Report, has delivered multiple triple-digit winning trades in recent months. And right now's the perfect time to get a full month-long trial to Andy's newsletter with no obligation to pay anything. Andy publishes his weekly newsletter every Thursday morning, where he breaks down the commodity market and provides his subscribers with specific trading recommendations based on his trading methodology. By signing up for a free trial to the Technomental Commodity Report, you'll get a full 30 days to try out this powerful newsletter service and see for yourself the types of trades Andy has recommended for his subscribers. When you sign up for a 30-day free trial, you're under no obligation to pay anything. And should you decide to continue, you'll lock in the low rate of only $59 a month. Sign up right now for the Technomental Commodity Report and make sure you're ready to catch the next big trade in commodities. For more information and to get started today, visit the front page of TFNN.com.
You've always taken the long view when it comes to investing, but what if there's an opportunity right under your nose? What if you could be more responsive to market trends to seek to boost your portfolio performance right now while seeking to reduce your overall risk? At Direction Funds, we connect investors with alternative strategies that seek to maximize their returns. Smart investors deserve smart alternatives. Find yours at directionfunds.com. An investor should consider the investment objectives, risk charges, and expenses of Direction Funds carefully before investing. The prospectus and summary prospectus contain this and other information about Direction Funds. To obtain a prospectus or summary prospectus, please contact the Direction Funds at 800-851-0511. The prospectus or summary prospectus should be read carefully before investing. Investing in index funds may be more volatile than investing in broadly diversified funds. Distributed by Rafferty Capital Markets, LLC.
Many of our new listeners have heard about the Tiger's Den, but wondered, what exactly is it? The Tiger's Den is a lively community where professional traders and investors can meet, exchange ideas and information in a comfortable, moderated atmosphere. Hear all of your favorite TFNN shows, plus see all the charts as they happen, live during those shows, and have access to all those charts. You can test drive the Tiger's Den, absolutely free, for 30 days. It will greatly enrich your knowledge of these markets. Details on the Tiger's Den are on the front page of TFNN.com. Dave takes your phone calls now. Toll free at 1-877-927-6648. Internationally at 727-445-1044.
And we are back, and we've got a caller, John, in Natick, Massachusetts. How you doing today, John?
Good, Dave. How are you?
Another day in paradise.
There you go. Wanted to take a look at Boeing. I saw I'm looking at the chart, and I'm wondering what you might think for a short.
Go ahead.
For a short. I'm looking at some puts on it. I'm thinking about getting some puts in May, the May, say, 125 put.
I tell you what, I just would never be short Boeing. Why they've got orders for 1,500 jets behind them. Even if they lose half the orders, they're still going to have 3 years, 4 years, or 5 years of building jets, and then the economy comes back in the meantime. So the question is there I'd like to see at least some kind of fundamental idea out here underpinning a company that is going to go down. Maybe their business is going off, anything else. As long as they can keep delivering planes, I think the orders will come back if they lose any because the economy comes down. Now, will they come down with the rest of the market? I think the answer is yes. I just think that there's better shorts out here. Now, when we look at the chart, what you have is basically an asymmetrical triangle. Let's do this real quick. Okay. I'm going to draw on this real quick, like drawing on charts. But you've got this kind of setup here, which is normally called an asymmetrical triangle. Are you watching on Tiger TV?
Yes, I am.
Or at the den? Okay. Basically, you end up getting this kind of sideways motion with lower highs and higher lows, right? And it keeps going in and in and in, and then you get a generally the first move out of this is going to be the head fake. So what you would like in this, if you still want to go with your short on it, is this probably to pop up to 131, 133, maybe hit that gap, and then pull the trigger there. Like I said, though, if this market's going down, I think you're probably going to get half of what the market is going down out of this compared to the rest of the stocks. It'd be different if they didn't have orders at the yin-yang, but this is kind of like selling an ice cream cone in the middle of the summer. Maybe if it was the middle of the winter and there was some other technical reasons for Boeing to fall out of bed, I just don't see it. They got orders for at least 5-7 years, and half those orders go away. They still have orders for 5 or 7 years. So it's just hard for me to see a market. Now, you can make the case that this is overpriced, but they still have the best jet. It gets 15% better gas mileage than those horrible Airbuses. And until Airbus comes up with something to beat with it, I just don't see how every order that they don't that gets canceled isn't immediately brought up to get another one of these planes that makes 10-15% better fuel mileage than anybody else. So I just fundamentally, it's very tough for me to short this thing. I mean, there's a lot of stocks out here that have PEs of 200, 300 to 1. I'd much rather probably be shorting one of those stocks.
Okay, I guess I got to keep looking. I mean, I was looking at this because I looked at the volume, and I'm looking at this as a ABC down.
It probably is. I just hate stocks that have really great earnings, because I know that the first people in to buy these things are going to be the funds, because they're going to assume that it's safe, and they probably are true. I'd like to see a company where something could radically change. IBM, like that. We keep seeing, they've got a big bet on this new computer system. Unclear whether or not that's ever going to pay off. To me, that would be, everybody bought that thing. But if you're looking for blue chips out here, the bluest of the blue chip, if I can get something going here. I don't know what's going on. Come on. Yeah. I don't know what's going on with the data here. Let's see if we can get something else going on here. I don't know, maybe my machine's locked up. Hopefully you're still there, John.
Yeah, no, I'm watching you. I see you.
Okay. Now let's take a quick look at it. IBM. Okay. No, we're going to break now. This is back up to that level. I'd look at IBM a lot harder. Anyway, we're going to go to break. If you want to hang on, you can. We'll be back in just a minute.
All right, sure.
If you're an active trader looking for that extra edge when it comes to trading and investments, then now is a great time to get a 2-week free trial to Tom O'Brien's daily market letter, Market Insights. Tom O'Brien's daily newsletter, Market Insights, comes out every market day at around 9:30 a.m. and provides Tom's daily commentary on the broad market, including the Dow, NASDAQ, and S&P, plus specific trade recommendations. There's even an update published most afternoons to keep you informed about the day's market activity. He'll give you the entry price, price target, and stop price of each stock and option trade. With Market Insights, there's nothing left to guessing. For all the details and to get your 2-week free trial to Market Insights started today, visit TFNN.com.
Has the current market volatility continued to stop you out of trades when the market spikes against you? Now is the perfect time to open up an account with Nadex. Nadex, the North American Derivatives Exchange, is a brand new, completely regulated Chicago-based exchange, and unlike most other exchanges, Nadex allows you to trade directly through them with direct market access when using their completely free trading platform, which also features real-time charts and full customization capability. One of the advantages of trading with Nadex in volatile markets is that your risk is always capped and you have the ability of keeping your trades open even when the market spikes against you. Nadex is completely brand new with a line of unique trading products that are unavailable anywhere else. See how it works at nadex.com. That's NADEX.com. Or click on the Nadex banner on the front page of TFNN.com. Futures and options trading involves risk and may not be appropriate for all investors.
Patterns, profits, and peace of mind.
Are you looking for a precision edge in the market? Something that can stack the odds in your favor? Then look into Larry Pesavento's trading newsletter.
Patterns, profits, and peace of mind.
In each weekly issue, Larry explains what's going to happen in the markets based on the pattern he sees developing and gives you actionable trade ideas based on those patterns. Plus, you'll get his detailed analysis on a variety of markets and sectors, including stocks, treasury bonds, the gold market, oil, the dollar, the Forex market, and more. You'll get access to all the patterns Larry is seeing in the markets, plus the Astro Harmonics and powerful Bradley stock market model that Larry utilizes for less than $5 a day. An extremely potent combination that will give you the edge you've been looking for. Try Patterns, Profits, and Peace of Mind absolutely free for 2 full weeks. That's an $85 value. Yours free when you register right now.
Get Larry's Patterns, Profits, and Peace of Mind.
And get the edge you've been looking for.
No matter where you listen to TFNN programming, we want you to know you can always access your favorite shows on demand through TFNN.com. TFNN airs live programming every market day from 9 a.m. till 6 p.m. Eastern, and you can view each program by accessing Tiger TV through our homepage. We even have an easy link for all mobile devices, including iPhones and iPads, located at the top right-hand corner of the TFNN homepage. You can use your smartphone to view Tiger TV, but if you don't have a mobile connection that can keep up with streaming live video, then you can simply visit TFNN.mobi in the browser of your smartphone for live streaming audio of all of our programs. The mission of TFNN is to educate our audience directly and interactively through our interactive website and radio call and talk shows. TFNN is able to teach all levels of investors the technical skills needed to trade in today's marketplace. In order to get the best information possible, TFNN has assembled the most respected financial minds in the country to provide the most current news and comprehensive advice available. TFNN.com. Educating investors. This segment is brought to you by Harmony Gold. For more information, just click the Harmony Gold banner on the front page of TFNN.com.
And is John still there?
Yeah, David, I'm still here.
Okay. The chart's probably not as good as I would like. But if you're still interested in going after some of these big high flyers, to me, IBM has a much better opportunity to fall apart. To me, this thing has been in distribution for a long time. You've got to me, even though this chart probably didn't look as good, if you were looking for one of these big blue chips to go after, to me, this one looks the weakest right here. And a lot of people wouldn't think of it instantly when they look at this chart, but I've been watching it the last few days, and we were right back up to that previous high on March 26th. Yep. You had almost 11 million shares that day. You got about 2.9 million shares now. To me, this would be the one that if it's going to fall out of bed or miss earnings, it's going to be this one. So I'd be, not that I'm pulling the trigger on this one, I think I'll probably pull the trigger on 3 or 4 this afternoon after the show, as long as volume doesn't increase into the close. I think we've got the C point of the ABC down in this market. But to me, much better chance that it takes a while to get the Watson computer project out the door for IBM, and they have spotty earnings for a while, than IBM losing those orders for the airplanes.
Interesting. Hey, do you mind taking a look at the TZA while I get you on the phone?
Nope. TZA. Okay. Good enough. And what do you have here? So what are you thinking about doing on that?
Well, I'm looking to buy this.
Okay. Yeah.
To me, it kind of looks like it wants to come down one more day.
I was going to say on the small caps, you may get one more tick in this thing, but it's going to be close. Like I said, if the volume is light, we've got, is that right? 230, okay. We got 2.2 billion shares here. I'd just go ahead, and we've seen the weakness in the market. I would probably go back and say pull the trigger at the close if the volume remains light. Normally what happens in these counter moves after huge moves down with confirmation, not recently, but almost the last 100 years of the stock market, is this would be the pull right here. So I'm pretty much banking on the market is cracked, that we've got a nice move in the market on a counter move, and you certainly can go after this one more time. So, I mean, probably if you looked at it, what's the low a day? Maybe 1575. So maybe you got a quarter underneath it. So, but to me, you want to, this thing's going to run up to $20.58. I probably wouldn't let 15 cents keep me out of what I would probably see down in the morning.
Yeah. No, I took it up from 1480 was early last week, I think it was.
Yeah.
And it's been good to me, so I like this one.
Well, I think it's good, and probably at the end of the day, especially if you see the market roll over, but if the volume remains light out here with 2.2 billion shares and an hour and 20 minutes to go in the day, this is going to be extremely light volume. Each time we go up higher, we get lighter volume. Just eventually it's going to snap and not repair itself. So I just don't see anything out here. As long as you find weak stocks, which there are a bunch of them out there, and some of them have done the B2C legs today. I'll be looking very hard as soon as I get off the air here to start pulling triggers on a few more of them. So I like this trade, and I wouldn't let a quarter or 15 cents keep me out of it at the end of the close today.
Excellent, David. Okay, thanks for your analysis. I appreciate it.
You bet. All right. And you can be like Steve. Is it Steve? Oh, you can be like John, excuse me, and call me at 877-927-6648. I had a few ones. Somebody wanted to short the GDX. To tell you the truth, I wouldn't want to be short any gold stocks right now. So we can just continue on the way on that one. But it's going to be interesting. I need to get some things taken care of, so hang on just a second. And, okay, let's do that. And let's do that. No, we got Victor coming online. How you doing today, Victor?
Good. Is today Weird Wally Wednesday where you got to be delta neutral?
No. I don't think that. Yeah, I guess it is. You had your first Friday last Friday. So, yeah, it is.
That's why the market's gapping up, I think.
It could be.
What do you think of Twitter?
Yeah, to me, everybody came out and said sell on Monday at the close, and that was probably good enough for most people to start stepping in. We saw a few people doing it. I think the volume here is not here. And like I said, I'm going to go after 3 or 4 more short positions after the close today if this volume remains low. Because I think this is the B2C. Go ahead.
Twitter and Netflix, what do you think? What do you think you should do with those two?
Netflix has had far too much in FLX. Probably already made its move down. You need to get this thing probably about 385, 390 to pull the trigger again. I think Twitter, to me, TWTR, I like just a lot better because it doesn't make any money, and they haven't figured it out. Unfortunately, and two, you've got a huge amount of shares coming in Twitter. But again, technically, there's just not a setup here for you to pull the trigger. Go ahead.
What would the price have to be? I asked another guy for it to be like a 50-to-1 PE, for that price to reflect the 50-to-1 PE instead of a 200-to-1 PE.
On what? Twitter?
Twitter.
It doesn't make any money. I don't know how they have a PE at all.
Oh, because I saw 200-to-1.
I think that's probably a guess on some kind of estimated earnings. They don't make money. They haven't made money.
Question, don't you think the banks can hold up the market for a few more weeks until expirations?
You got earnings on banks on Friday and Monday.
Yeah. Don't you think they can hold up the market?
Yeah. To me, I have a feeling that the top is in, and we're probably going to see guidance down. But Friday, Monday, and Tuesday. In fact, I went through these yesterday. Where are they at?
What do you think about gold?
Earnings. Okay. Friday, we got J.P. Morgan and Wells Fargo. Monday, Citibank. Tuesday and Wednesday, you got COF. And Thursday, Goldman Sachs, Morgan Stanley. So it's got kind of a murderer's row of earnings the next week. I think we've got just about everything lined up here, and I like kind of. I didn't look at the XLF today. Go ahead.
You don't think they just beat them up to ride them up now next week? If Alcoa can go up and their earnings are worse and all that, why not just, you know what I mean? They beat them up to go right into earnings.
Alcoa's earnings weren't horrible. What they didn't do was increase the revenues. So we know the only thing they did was increase profits from whatever they sold. And to me, you would have loved to see both of those go up. And that's why Alcoa probably not doing any better. I like the XLF out here short. But you need to probably, if you could get a little bounce maybe tomorrow morning into maybe 22, what do we have out here? 22, it's a high 22.07 today. Man, if I could get another quarter on this thing, I'd probably pull the trigger and look at 22.65 as the any close above that as the stop out. So I think you got a nice setup here. You probably want to use one of your leveraged ETFs on it, but I think these are they look to me like they've topped out.
What about gold?
Gold is anybody's bet. I'm betting on a big news event here in the next probably 7 days. I think we're probably going to see Russia go into
You have that big thing coming up, the Golden Cross on the 21st of April or something, and the 15th, the astrological things going on.
I would not be short gold. Go ahead.
I think they're going to split the dollar now.
Yeah. I have a feeling those are the least of our worries. Putin's got all his men at the border ready to go, full battle rattle. They've got everything on their backs. They could go any moment. And my guess is that they're going across that line in the next 7 days. And I think that's going to be the big event over the next few days or 7 days. But they're ready to go. They could go 5 minutes from now or 7 days from now. If they don't go in the next 7 days, I guess they are just going to camp out there and menace them for a long time. But it didn't look like they were going. All the stuff I read was that they were saddling the soldiers for everything they're going to need for 14 days. So food and water, everything that they're going to need, sleeping bags. Go ahead.
Don't believe everything you read,
This is a highly, a very good source. And also the U.S. government has walked away from them, so they're not going to help them. So basically he's given Putin the green light to go after him. So I don't know what else. Huh?
The Americans did? Like, they're not going to help out?
Nope. We're not going to give them anything. If you read, you can look it up today on the major web services, but the Ukrainians are begging for satellite images of where they're massing troops and everything else. Huh?
Where's the UN? They're getting paid off?
They don't care. This is like us giving away Poland and Europe giving away Poland just so Hitler wouldn't attack them. They're just going to ignore it until it becomes a big deal, and then we got hundreds of millions of people involved in a war instead of a very smaller one.
That'll drive the price of copper back up.
Like I said, I wouldn't be short gold right now. And we all know, everybody knows, Putin's got 100,000 troops there. That he sent them there just to sit there and look mean across the fence. I would say yes if we had, 20,000 Marines on the other side that could bloody their nose. But we haven't sent one person. We're not giving them any help. We're not sending them a rifle. We've sent them 300,000 ready to eat, and that's it. So anyway, I'm thinking that we've got some very big geopolitical things happening in the next few days, and I think that's going to be the catalyst. Maybe just that the market's ready to fail too, but I have a feeling that we are getting ready to do that. Anyway, you can give us a call at 877-927-6648. So what else do we have? Let me go ahead and update that. Is that right? Okay, 2.25 billion shares. So very, very light volume for the last 30 minutes. I had a lot of volume come in on that FOMC meeting, but it lasted about 15 minutes and not getting a lot of love now. So we'll have to keep an eye on it. But, I think we've got a target-rich environment to go short. What you do want to make sure is that you don't have earnings probably in the next week, because that may be enough to hold these stocks up. But if you're looking at stocks that have earnings into May, already gone through their earnings cycle, I think you probably have some good stocks out here to go after. But just be very careful about anything that has earnings in the next week to 2 weeks, because I think they could hold those particular stocks up. But I'm still fairly bearish, but we will continue to do that. Okay. Let's go back to some of the other stocks I was looking at here today, if we can. I think we already talked about Facebook. A couple of stocks actually not looking too bad out here, and it is the Chinese stocks. Yingling Green Energy Holding Company, one of the few out here making lows with lighter volume. And not a real expensive stock out here. December 9th, we saw a low at $4.17, almost 9 million shares. We went under that by 7 cents a few days ago, 4.6 million shares. So we've got some of these stocks that have bottomed with light volume. What you would have wanted to see, though, is that a big move with 17 points today, that this thing got some love, not just in the price point, but in some volume. And volume very light on just 2 million shares so far. Now, sometimes this does happen, but I would have loved to see, 4 or 5 million shares in this thing, even for the 20 cents that it popped here today, and not getting it. So not seeing a lot of that. On the high end, some of these stocks are looking a little sweet. Probably not enough meat on the bone out here. But Altria Group, we're going to talk about cigarettes when we come back. Don't smoke.
Daryl Martin coined the phrase diagnostic trading, and we're happy to announce that his diagnostic box spread analyzer has finally been released. The Diagnostic Box Spread Analyzer helps you easily identify the best box spreads on Nadex in seconds, plus you receive access to the diagnostic deviation levels, as well as step-by-step training videos teaching you how to trade Nadex spreads so you can quickly master the mechanics of this simple yet powerful trading instrument. By pulling live data from the Nadex exchange, the Diagnostic Box Spread Analyzer does all the math for you, calculating risk, reward potential, distance to break even for both outright spreads and spreads used to hedge the underlying market. Visit the front page of TFNN.com today to get your 2-week free trial to Daryl Martin's Diagnostic Box Spread Analyzer and gain access to the valuable information it can provide when trading the Nadex box spreads.
Tom O'Brien's weekly gold letter, The Gold Report, gives complete and concise coverage of the entire gold market. Inside, you'll get Tom's commentary on gold, the dollar, the rand, the bond, the XAU, the HUI, and detailed coverage of nearly 25 mining stocks. He'll give you the entry price, price target, and stop price of each stock trade. The Gold Report is a long-term newsletter where the focus is on building real wealth through the management of a successful portfolio of gold stocks. With a lifetime of knowledge and almost 12 years of writing his informative weekly newsletter, The Gold Report, Tom O'Brien can provide you with the important market information to help you make better trades in the gold market. Don't let the next bull run in gold pass you by. To get a month-long free trial to The Gold Report, an $85 value, visit the front page of TFNN.com today.
David White's newsletter, The Technology Insider, is focused like a laser on finding the next big things in technology. If you had invested only $10,000 in Microsoft in 1986, you'd have been a millionaire by 2000. Disruptive technology like Microsoft's is the key to these massive long-term profits, and the Tech Insider is the vehicle from TFNN to capitalize on these opportunities. This is the go-to newsletter that identifies, monitors, and profits on mostly little-known cutting-edge companies with great long-term prospects. David's experience is as an inventor of Emmy-winning animation products for TV and Hollywood that propelled a company public. Match that with 14 years as a full-time trader, and he's uniquely qualified to guide you through the light-speed world of ever-evolving high-tech. If you're ready to ride the next big technology bull market for less than $40 per month, log on to TFNN.com and get your 2-week free trial to the Technology Insider. Get in on the ground floor of the next big thing today.
We're told to follow our passion and everything else will fall into place. I hope that's what each of you are doing each and every day. Hi, I'm Steve Rhodes, host of the Money Master Show at TFNN.com, and my passion for technical analysis is what led me to the most fundamental discovery in pattern recognition, the Rhodes Momentum Indicator, market scanner, and trading strategy, a set of tools that identify the momentum and power of the trend, the likes of which have never been seen before, for every market and every time frame. Yes, folks, the trend is your friend, unless you're on the other side. New to technical analysis? This is the place to start. And experienced traders take advantage of the trend like never before. Experience the power of the Rhodes Momentum Indicator each day, available to subscribers of my newsletter service, Mastering Probability. I guarantee your satisfaction for the next 30 days unconditionally, so there's no risk to you other than being on the wrong side of the trend. Mastering Probability, available on the homepage of TFNN.com. And folks, live with passion.
This segment is brought to you by TFNN. Test drive all the newsletters for free at TFNN.com.
And as we come back, we were going to look at a few stocks that I think are fairly interesting. To me, one of the most interesting is Altria Group. Of course, a lot of people piling into this as the market went down, thinking it was a safety stock. This thing, very light volume as it gets back up to the previous high from December 20th, $38.58, 16 million shares. So yesterday we had 8.7 million shares. Today, 5.4 million shares. This thing's within 30 cents of this high. Energy on this leg back up, not all that extensive. So not enough meat on the bone out here. I wouldn't short it for $5, but I think pretty good. More impressive to me is the light volume in Archer Daniels Midland ADM supermarket to the world. It is the December 30th high that we saw out here, 7.1 million shares at $43.99, breaking through that with 2.7 million shares today. And I'm going to have to spend some more time on the commodities, but it certainly looks to me like ADM, pretty light volume for breaking a previous high. What I really dislike is the light energy back up here, and that we see all-time high beef prices as we come here. Fairly interesting. A few weeks ago on a Friday, we were talking about fuel cell companies, and I said that pretty much they are the technology of the future and always will be as long as they use platinum and gold as the as the catalyst for making a fuel cell work. FCAL was one of these big boomers. This thing has gone right back down to the breakout point. And if you really liked it, you could go buy it again. But like I said then, and I'll say now, maybe they sell a few units here and there, this thing, but not an investment, certainly. Maybe a trade, but a lot of people probably wishing they hadn't bought 200 million shares on the March 11th out here. But I'm sure we're going to see a great deal more of these stocks in this alternative energy sector that is going to be problematic. We talked about a few things going on, and from the reports that I feel fairly good coming out of Europe, and kind of ignored by the U.S. press, is the huge buildup of 100,000 troops on the border of Ukraine. But the difference now is that they have all the supply lines and roads cleared off for about 100 miles, and all the fuel and ammunition and spare parts along those roads ready to go and supply those arms and troops. So if they were just going to menace them, maybe this is all a bunch of practice. But my guess is they wouldn't have spent a lot of money that they don't have getting this all ready, and basically a picture postcard of how to set up an invasion. They've done it all, so you want to keep an eye on that. The reason I was and still am bearish on fuel, or actually crude, that kind of stuff, but just watch out, because any of these things that break out, probably going to see an instant pop in crude prices, probably in natural gas. And I think into that pop, I'd want to be a shorter of crude, but I think we're going to get it, and I think it's still weak, but probably going to get one more round at crude before it goes lower. At least I think it will. Anyway, you all have a great, safe, and wonderful day. Sell when you can, not when you have to, and see us tomorrow. Same bat channel, same bat time.
Since 1984, Basil Chapman has been using the Chapman Wave methodology to advise traders of his expert market opinion. While originally hand-drawing charts from the late 1970s into the 1980s, Basil noticed that prices under most circumstances virtually always had a certain number of legs to the upside before declining sharply. Later, Basil found that computer software, which included the standard market technical indicators, enhanced the degree of accuracy in calling price turns, as well as market trend calls. Thus was born the Chapman Wave sequence. Using the Chapman Wave methodology along with other indicators, Basil Chapman advises his subscribers of his expert market opinion each market day with his opening call newsletter. Right now, you can get a 2-week free trial to the opening call, Basil's daily trading newsletter, by visiting the front page of TFNN.com. Cancel at any time during that trial and pay absolutely nothing. Get your 2-week free trial to Basil's newsletter, The Opening Call, today by visiting TFNN.com.
You're watching Tiger TV.